Hello, everyone. This is the Database Cloud Service workshop walkthrough. When you start this workshop, you're going to receive a reservation, uh, and the main page of the reservation will look like this. You have the database connection details here, the cloud, all the cloud console basically. You can connect and create your database cloud service on. You have the remaining time, and from here you can launch the cloud console directly. You'll also receive a link to the documentation, to the lab guide. This is the very beginning link, the very beginning page you will get when you connect to this link. Here we have the workshop requirements, the agenda, and some details about how to create your own SSH keys in case you want to use your own keys. This is not mandatory, so we're going to use the cloud generated keys, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure generated keys. So we're going to jump to the first section in the lab, which will guide us through Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI. Let's go back to the reservation page. I'm going to copy the password, click the copy password, launch console. And here in the console, I have to connect to the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure as the user specified. I'm going to sign in with this password here. I'm going to just paste it, and then I'm going to paste it 3 more times, the same password, because I don't want to change the password. It's good to have it here on the Cloud Console, and there is no need to change it actually. And this is the quick start page of the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure console. So we'll start with task number 1 with provision database cloud service. So I have to go to Oracle database, bare metal, VM, and Exadata, create DB system, and then I'm going to choose my compartment, which is already chosen, and the name of specify the name of the database cloud service. So I go here, Oracle database, bare metal, VM, and Exadata, exactly as it says in the lab guide. I'm going to follow exactly the lab guide itself. So I'm here in Oracle Partner in Oracle Partner SaaS, yes, in the root compartment. And I'm going to select the compartment I have here in the reservation. Yes, so if you're not, you have to make sure you are in the correct compartment. My compartment is 46524. So this is the one, the compartment I have to specify. And now I can click create DB system. This is the compartment which is already selected here. So once I specify it in the previous page, it's already specified here. And I'm going to name it workshop DB. I'm going to select an availability domain, virtual machine, and I need to specify the shape VM standard 2.1. Click shape, VM standard 2.1, select it, and enterprise edition extreme performance and logical volume manager. So I'm going to specify here enterprise edition extreme performance, logical volume manager, generate SSH key pair and save them both on your disk, and choose the license type, bring your own license. So I'm going to save the private key, public key, bring your own license. And regarding the networking, on the next page, I have to specify the VCN, Virtual Cloud Network, subnet, and the name of the host. So I'm going to specify the VCN, the public subnet. This is very important. You should choose the public subnet, and the name of the host, which is going to be DB host. So this is the VCN, the only one which is here available. The public subnet, which is also the only one available, and the name of the host, that's DB host. And I click next. The name of the DB is going to be also workshop DB. This is also very important to use the names which are already specified in the documentation. The PDB is PDB 011. Also, it's very important to use the same name which is specified in the documentation, and also the password, because we have some pre-created code with the password already specified, and we should use the exact password in the lab guide. Transaction processing, and then we have to enable automatic backups. So let me see, transaction processing and enable automatic backup. And this is it. So let's create the DB system. The DB system is now creating, and the second task is to create the connection, SSH connection, to initiate the SSH connection to the database server, which is running our Oracle Cloud Database Service. I'm going to, I have to specify the correct privileges for the keys files. So I have a Linux environment, well, it's a Mac. I'm going to open up my console here. And I'm going to do an ls first to see what keys I have in my downloads. So today is the 18th of January. So I'm going to use these keys. Let me remove the other keys. So just to make sure I'm not going to use the wrong keys in my workshop here. So I need to specify the correct privileges for my SSH key, my private key, because this is very important. SSH won't let me connect if I don't have the correct privileges for my key. And then I need to use this this connection string. So I'm going to use my a text file, a notes text file, to save the keys and the information I need for my connection. This is the this is my console here, and this is my text file for the notes. If I go back to the Cloud Console to see if my DB system has been provisioned, I can check DB systems here. It's still running, it's still provisioning. But I can take maybe, let's see if I have the public IP address available for the node. No, I still don't have it. So I need to wait until the DB system completes provisioning, and I need to get the public IP address of the host node for my DBCS service. Well, after a few minutes, the database cloud service is provisioned. You can see here it is available. And now we have the public IP address of the database node we can use for the SSH connection. So if you follow the lab guide, say connect to the DBCS node using SSH, and we're going to also perform a port forwarding SSH tunnel on port 500 hundreds. No, 5,500. So this is the port we're going to use for the Enterprise Manager Database Express on the DBCS node. So I have my connection string here. I just created in my notes. I'm going to use it in my console here to connect to the DBCS node, and I'm connected to my DB host node. If you're using PuTTY on Windows, you have to do the same. You have to specify the public IP address of the DBCS node, port 22, and then you are supposed to use the SSH key. You have to convert it to PPK using PuTTYGen, and then in tunnels, in SSH tunnels, you'll have to do a port forwarding from 5,500 to 5,500 local hosts. So you have to specify here destination port 500, 5,000, destination local host colon 5,500 or 5,500, and you have to click add you have to see the port here in the list, in the forwarded ports. You have to say yes when you are asked about if you trust the host, exactly as I did here in my console. When I was asked if I'm sure I want to connect, I say yes. And this is the all you have to do on PuTTY. You should save this session in PuTTY in order to be able to reuse it. And the last task is to verify the Oracle database you have on this node. So we have to change our session user to Oracle, because Oracle is the user that is the owner of the Oracle software installed on the DBCS node. And then you have to connect using SQL Plus to the database. The database connection has this format, so I'm going to copy it in my notes here. I advise you to do the same, to create a text file with the connection notes and all the details about the database node you need to use in the workshop. So this is the sys user, the password, the database unique name. We can take it from here. This is the database here. So you have here a database unique name. The database now it is performing a backup. It is taking a backup, so that's why it still says provisioning. Let me copy the DB database unique name. Let me click on the database link just to show you the status of the database. So the backup in progress. This is the status, the current status, because we specified automatic backups, and the first thing it does, it takes a backup. So I'm going to copy the database unique name I copied. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to paste it in my connection notes, and I'm going to connect to my database in my console using SQL Plus as Oracle user. So this is the database. We can list the pluggable databases, and then we can exit the session. So let me show PDBs. We have the PDB 011, which is the PDB we created when we provisioned the DBCS environment. and the seed to create new pluggable databases. And we can connect directly to the pluggable database. So if I want to connect to the pluggable database, I need to specify the service name, which the host name, the port number, and the service name. Service name is PDB011, and then it is followed by host domain name. I'm going to show you how to create it, the connection string. So this is the connection string I need to connect to the PDB level. And the host domain name, I can take it from the DB system details. It is here, host domain name. I can show it, or I can copy it in my notes. So here in my notes, I have the connection string. I can use to connect directly from SQL Plus to the pluggable database. I can exit the session, or I can just connect to the PDB. And if I show you the connection, I'm in the PDB 011 right now on the environment. Or if I use the SQL Plus directly on Bash, I can use the domain name command to take the host domain name from the Bash command line. So if I do an exit, I can do it like this. So I can run SQL Plus, sys database, and then here, instead of the host domain name, I use the command domain name to get the variable for my connection. And I can select, for example, the users I have in this PDB. So I have 37 users, and you can see here I don't have the sample schemas installed, HR, SH, and order entries, sales history, and human resources. So these schemas are not installed in my PDB. This is the entire lab 1. So I'm going to show you the next labs in the next video.